Okay, I'm gonna answer a question that I see people talk about from my perspective about what fighting game has the hardest combos in it, right? And unfortunately, I feel like it's not like a fun answer because it actually just depends on your perspective or where we are like, what is what's the stipulation for what we're basing this off of? Because there's a lot of different variables, right? People are like, oh, those King of Fighters have the hardest combos, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Marvel, whatever. And again, a lot of games you can pick a hard combo from almost any game, right? You can pick an easy combo. So again, a lot of it is variables, so I'll try to give my opinion on it through different perspectives if we're talking about like in real matches in terms of combo videos, etc. Because again, we go back to let's start off with a game like Street Fighter. First of all, games like Street Fighter 5 don't count. That obviously I don't consider Street Fighter 5 to have hard combos. Again, I'm not saying no game. I'm not saying again. I try to say that every game can potentially have a hard combo, but Street Fighter 5, I've said this before, and as games have been progressing throughout the years, they're trying to almost make it like a high school GED equivalence test, right? They want everyone to be able to throw the star. They want everyone to be the star quarterback, can throw the Hail Mary pass, right? They want you to be like, if you have this sort of standard of quotation marks excellence or whatever, you understand the game or you can throw the Hail Mary pass. You can do the quotation marks hardest combo. That doesn't count. I don't count games like Street Fighter 4 either because again, if you're talking about combos, and this is something you gotta like be real with yourself. Stop like patting yourself on the back. Street Fighter 4 really started, because Street Fighter 4 kind of resurged fighting games a little bit, for better or worse, I guess. Probably for better. Just would have been better if it would have been a more interesting game, I think. But Street Fighter 4, people were going crazy like, oh, I did a just frame combo. Just frame combos are not the same thing. The word just frame is a fucking buzzword now, right? A just frame is not the same as a just frame as when you played original kind of fighting games, okay? That's just being honest. You saying you did a just frame combo in Street Fighter 4 does not mean you've done a just frame combo in other games, okay? That's just complete bullshit. But let me show you something. Because again, I've said before, let's go back to a game like, say, old school Street Fighter, right? And even a little bit more old, like a newer old school Street Fighter, right? A lot of people that do all these Twitter combos and everything like that probably could not do a low forward into Super Fireball with Ryu and Super Turbo, right? Because it's just they just wouldn't know how to do it, right? And I'm going to get into when I'm talking about this. I'm going to get into some stuff that you learn in video games is really just kind of some of the hard things, quotation marks, is a trick to doing it, right? And some things you just have muscle memory. So say for me, when I play old school Street Fighter, I can do low forward Super Fireball, obviously. I can do Rush Fierce, Duck Strong, Duck Fierce, Super Fireball 3, whatever, right? Because that was a common thing if you know how to play video game. Well, not everyone can do it, right? But it was a common sort of level of skill, to be able to do something like that. Say something like I can punish when I played Street Fighter, because I played as a kid, I can punish, DPs with not a common punish, but say punish a DP with low strong, low forward fireball through. That is not a common punish, right, in old school Street Fighter, but it is something I can do because it is something that I practiced as a kid, right? But on that thing again, getting into like what you practice, there are certain things in old school Street Fighter, and this sounds ridiculous, and people probably don't understand this unless they've played these games, right? And this goes into tricks. A low forward into Super Fireball, a low fierce into Super Fireball is totally different than a stand fierce to Super Fireball in Super Turbo. Right? I could tell you right now, and this sounds crazy if you don't understand video games and understand the games I'm talking about. I probably would not be able to do a stand fierce into Super Fireball with Ryu and Super Turbo. It's actually completely different. I know I just said most people can't do low forward into Super Fireball. The difference between a low forward to Super Fireball to stand fierce, there's actually a trick to it, and I actually don't even recall how to do it thinking about it right now because it's not a common thing that you do, right? I actually don't even remember the trick to doing it, right? I'm just being honest with you. I know I have done it before when I played, when I was like a little more, getting like warmed up on the game when I was younger. But I could tell you right now, I probably couldn't do it. And that probably makes me sound shitty, but unless you know what I'm talking about, I probably could not do it. There was other things we were talking about. There is a, and I've seen some people have done this, right? You have the mash on short jump attack, right? You got to like kind of do this kind of like you chain it in a weird way and cancel, right? I would have to even remember how to do it because it's not something though that when I was a kid I normally practice because it's not how people play it, right? Another thing, let's get into something like a King of Fighter combo, right? Does King of Fighters have hard combos? I could tell you, I have made King of Fighter combos if people remember they watch the videos, right? A common example of a trick in that game, and this is a newer one, right? It's old now, but what was that? King of Fighters 12 or 13? K's flame trigger or fireball in the flame trigger. To do that manually is ridiculously fucking hard. There's a trick to doing it. There's like a motion that the game will actually give it to you if you do it, but to do it manually is almost it's ridiculously precise, right? And I could tell you if someone gave me the controller like do K's DP to flame trigger, I would have to get lucky. I don't remember the trick to doing it, right? Hopefully you get what I'm getting, right? So some games actually, what's hard in them is it's just a trick, and I don't fucking remember how to do it, right? Do you know what I mean? So, but that's probably a common thing, right? You know what I mean? I don't know how to do it because I made those videos so long ago. I know there's a trick, right? Are Marvel combos hard? Well, you know, I remember a lot of Marvel stuff. I can tell you, dude. Marvel. What was I gonna say? A lot of those combo videos that I was doing in Marvel, I actually have done in real matches. You could totally do this. So, like before they even made Ryu's thrust kick, they made it harder for him to wave dash when the game first came out, and then this is Marvel third time. Then Ultimate, they made it easier. I could do those wave combos in real matches, and I was doing those crazy Akuma combos in real matches. I was doing the double Shinkoi Dokens, all that kind of shit, right? I have actually done, and it probably sounds crazy, some of those crazy tag team combos, again, that people said I was cheating, it was not humanly possible, I have done in real matches, right? So some stuff is just, you know, people are, they're not giving, they're being, they're not being realistic about what you can do executionally, right? And this is something you just gotta like practice stuff sometimes. Some stuff is a trick, you know. Say, I remember when fucking Street Fighter Alpha first came out, dude. I was like, holy fuck! And I told this story before. I was like, Akuma had a double super fight. You had to jump and do a double motion for a fire. It blew my mind. Little kid Clayton, who had never popped a boner. I was like, how the fuck am I going to be like instantly doing a double quarter circle forward motion in the air to do a super fireball, right? I mean, but as a kid, I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I'm like, well, I know how to tiger knee because we've been tiger kneeing for so long, you know what I mean? So I taught myself how to tiger knee it, you know what I mean? Then eventually, you know, so certain things you just got to fucking practice, dude. Like, and that's why Dragon Ball FighterZ is an interesting game because people, it brought in such the community of like so many new people into fighting games, maybe, right? And people complain about such easy shit. Like, a lot of the combos I've showed Dragon Ball FighterZ that people say are not realistic are actually pretty fucking easy, and I would do them if I play. Like people complain about Vegeto's Banshee Blast links that are now easier. Like dude, it's just the first thing was just a super jump. Like what are you guys are fighting game babies basically. I'm not even saying it's like a baby in a negative way, but literally like a baby in terms of your thought process of what a person can do if you think that's a complicated combo, right? So I have no problem saying if a combo is easier, if a combo is hard. I can be realistic. I can tell you I would go for that combo real match. Say again, we're trying with Dragon Ball FighterZ right now. A lot of those sparking solo touch of death combos with Vegito. If I actually cared about the game and I wanted to get good at the game, I can look at those kind of things and tell myself, that is something I would learn how to do. That is like doable, right? Now, if you take that, say, Gogeta triple tiger knee combo, which again, I hate talking about frame data because frame data just you people use it as an excuse to sound smart when they don't know anything. That's like 6 just frames in a row. No, that's not realistic. You know what I mean? The risk reward for that is just so ridiculous. It's extremely hard to set up. It's awkward. Literally frame data rise, it's like 6 just frames in a row. It's absolutely fucking insane, right? No, most of those most combos are not realistic. But lots of those other combos, yeah, dude, right? Dragon Ball FighterZ, I said this before, if you're actually talking about playing the game optimally, it's hard because the game discourages you from playing it optimally, right? A lot of this stuff, again, I can be honest. If I think I can do something, if I think you can do something, I'll say it. If I don't think you can do it, like I'm very I'm old enough now. I've played enough games that it can be like, yeah, I don't think you could do that. I think you can do that, right? Too many times people are giving themselves excuses, like saying, how many times, dude, the B&Bs people use in Dragon Ball FighterZ, how much stuff is like, the basis of that is stuff I did the first month the game was out. You know, come on, it's like, dude, this is baby shit. People are like giving themselves excuses. And again, I'm saying, does Guilty Gear have hard combos, right? Um, I said before, I've done the humanly impossible combos that people weren't even doing in past videos. It was a year, I think, before even another Japanese guy even did it in a combo video. All those forward hard slash FRC from many distance. I played a friend recently, I told the story. I was hitting that combo 75% of the time, probably in a real match. Do people think I actually don't even think I have a PS. I'm not even sure if the PS3 is at my house, so it's not like I'm fucking. I'm not even sure. That goes to show you how much I play Guilty Gear. I don't even know if the PS3 is at my house if I wanted to play Guilty Gear right now, right? Point is, I don't practice it, and the last time I played, I was able to do about 75% of the time, right? You know, that was a combo that no one had ever even done in a combo video for like a year besides me, and I was doing it in combo video wise. I was doing fucking tons of them in a row, right? So again, what game has the hardest combos? It really fucking depends, right? Oh, Carno's Revenge, yeah. People saw me. I was destroying the Japanese. They said I was the best in the world. I was doing combo video combos against them all over the place, right? Stuff no one had done, right? Off of random hits, not even dizzy, right? So again, you can find hard combos in any game. You can find easy combos in any game, right? But a lot of times when people talk about it, you know, you just say it's actually pretty specific. Like, does this character have hard combos? Does this character have easy combos? It's not so black and white. Lots of games have hard combos. I don't think there's any, you know what I mean? I can tell you this, and this is, I don't think Dragon Ball FighterZ has the hardest combos per se. You know what I mean? If the standard of excellence, if Gogeta's B&B combo really was the Tiger Knee combo, which I don't think it is, right? Because I can be honest with that, then yeah, if that was the standard of level to get to a playing field, then no, Dragon Ball FighterZ would have been saying. I don't think so, but you know, I can be honest with what I think is realistic and not. I can tell you from like a dude who makes combo videos who doesn't. I don't consider myself to have the most amazing execution. Actually, I know that. I think that makes people think like I'm sounding like I'm amazing. I don't. I don't consider myself to have the most amazing execution in the grand scheme of fighting games whatsoever. I can count with nothing, right? I'm just a creative motherfucker. I can tell you though, as it is now, Dragon Ball FighterZ, what I've done combo video wise, actually probably is collection wise, and maybe there's an asterisk mark because I've done more stuff for it than other games. Again, look at the history of games. I don't think there's ever been a single person ever in the fighting game community, one single person who's brought more to a video game than I did Dragon Ball FighterZ. Doesn't matter. All the foundation for the game, regular B&Bs that people use to the crazy combos. The reason I don't do all that, actually, I still do B&B combos because I show people, but I don't bother with all the quotation mark simple stuff because I already knew the simple stuff that was going to work in the beta. I was posting those, again, somebody even said recently, dude, all these homing dash rejumps, I posted about doing that in the beta, dude. Like, you guys are so fucking far behind, dude, right? I don't keep doing that stuff because I've already done it. I'm trying to progress the game. So, in that sense, if you think about it like that, all the stuff I've done in Dragon Ball FighterZ to keep my channel active because I was just so far ahead and I made so many videos just instantly within minutes. Dragon Ball FighterZ actually probably has been. People say the combos are easy. The game actually probably has had the most amount of difficult combos that I've ever done in a series of video games, actually, right? Asterisk mark because I've been trying to keep the channel active and I've just been so fucking far ahead of everyone. It's just absolutely fucking insane. Again, I don't think there's ever been a person that's ever done that much for one video game ever, but again, asterisk mark because again, I normally don't play that many characters, but just to keep my channel active, I'm like, I got to keep progressing the game. Even think about Marvel 2. How in Marvel 2, there's that Hyato Infinite. I found that no one had done that. The game's been out 10, 15 years. No one had ever done that, dude, right? I would love to get that to guy with full life to instant kill combo. Maybe that's the hardest combo I've ever done, but I've still never done it. But I just don't care enough to do it. I was proud just to be able to show that I showed the basis of it. I showed that Kai combo recently. No one had ever even done it in task videos, right? And I actually showed that on stream multiple times. I was able to do that. No one's ever done that in task videos, right? Found that, 10 years after the game's been out, I posted that, right? So again, what game has the hardest combos? It's hard to say because you can pick and choose, right? So again, that's a vague answer. What game has the hardest combos? It's hard to say. Some games, again, I try to give an example. Some games, it's just a trick, and sometimes you just don't know the trick. People could ask me, how did you do some of those K combos right when the game came out in King of Fighters? How did you do those K combos? And I could tell you right now, I don't even fucking remember, dude. I don't remember. I know it's a trick because if you try to humanly manually do it like that, how you think it works, it doesn't work. There's actually a trick. So sometimes just to get something to work, your brain doesn't understand how to do it, even though it might seem simple. That's why I say, and even Dragon Ball FighterZ, people are complaining, dude. They didn't know you just super jump. They didn't know what a super jump is. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I can't fight if you don't know what a super jump is, right? I can't fucking help you, dude, right? You don't know what a link is? I mean, dude, your level is this isn't talking shit about you per se, but your level is too childish to like you need to like grow up a little bit, right? I mean, so it depends. There's hard things and everything. Some things it's just a trick you don't understand. There's some tricks that I've done that I don't fucking remember anymore because I'm old and I just play video games for fun when I'm bored. And I got to remember how to do it. So, anyway, probably not a fun answer. I've done lots of hard combos, lots of stuff I'm very proud of all the stuff I've done in games. But what game actually has the hardest combos? I don't know if I would actually, it would be I would have to really think of it. I can say though, for people that say that Dragon Ball FighterZ has the easiest combos compared to Marvel, Guilty Gear, all this kind of stuff. I don't necessarily agree because the game actually discourages you from playing it optimally in a lot of senses, right? But I know what I've done and I know what is humanly possible. So it's like very iffy. And I know how often I play games and I know that I've had surgery on my hands. I know I don't even have functions over my body as well as I do anymore. So it's very iffy. There's lots of asterisk marks, but the point is I don't think it's so black and white. Does that make sense? There's my game theory video. The end.